Right, Bash, Champions League preview. It's back. 31st edition of the UEFA Champions League, and the last time it's ever in this format that we are used to. Ever since we've been born, it's been in this format. Well, no, that's I lie. It's not been in this exact format ever since we were born. This kind of format came in the early 2000s of one group going into round of 16, going into round of 8. It used to be Group A and then another group. If you remember when United won the treble, they went through the first group and then they had to go through another group and then they go into semi-finals. It used to be a bit like that.
Crazy.
And now they've changed it again to the Swiss model. Those of you that are commenting, obviously that are watching regularly, viewers, just comment if you do remember this, the format that I'm talking about.
The pre-format.
The 2 group stage format, right? And then it got changed to this one. And now we're going to be changing to the Swiss model next season. They've done it because of, I don't know, some chess tournaments, they do them like that. So there's going to be 36
It's
teams.
just more money, man.
That's what it is.
That's all it is,
I was going to get to that, but you said,
It's just more money, innit?
Way more money. I think they're going to generate about 100 to 200 more million.
There you go.
Through making, obviously, it's extra games.
Everything, betting, bloody everything that comes with football, the travelling, the tickets, the live TV, everything.
The last thing that they think about, it seems to be, is the players' welfare and if the players can handle it or not. Obviously, extra games now in the calendar.
Yeah.
It's going to be 36 teams, so it's going to be 4 added teams. In that model, they won't play each other twice like they do now, home and away. They'll play 8 fixtures minimum. And it'll go, it'll be randomized, if I'm not mistaken. Randomized, it'll get selected for them each week. They'll go play them. And then the top 8 teams go automatically through. Then from number 9 to number 25, right, go into a playoff, 2-legged playoff, to determine the other 8 teams of the round of 16.
Round of 16, yeah.
Those 8 teams that lose that playoff then go into the Europa League. So they've added an extra playoff there before the round of 16 for teams. That's the 2 added games, and there's 2 added group stage games. So there's minimum 4 added games for teams to play, to navigate through, to get. Well, that'll be next season.
Well, it makes it a bit tougher, doesn't it?
Does it?
Does it?
I don't know, because look, just say you're Manchester City now. You've got the 30-16 model there. You're probably going to play 4 teams that are, the Macedonians, the Lithuanians. You'll probably play 4 of them because it's randomized now. Before, you had one weak team in your group.
One weak team.
Maybe 2 if, it was, 2 at most you'd have 2 weak teams.
I'd say even then, like, away atmospheres are never easy anyway.
Yeah, like we've seen.
Very rarely.
Shakhtar beat Real Madrid recently. Sheriff beat Real Madrid.
Sheriff beat us?
And they beat you lot as well. There you are. Young boys are famous in
They've
Europe.
Made a name.
When
they beat you lot?
Yeah, they beat you lot as well.
And they beat us lot?
I don't know why you jumped on me straight away. I was thinking about United. Right? It was the same season, I think.
Wasn't it the season before? Or did they get knocked out of the Champions League and they came to...
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But what we're saying, there are very hostile atmospheres in away grounds, in Middle Eastern European grounds, which do make...
So nothing's guaranteed.
But what I'm saying is the Swiss model, as I personally feel, will make it a touch easier for the bigger clubs. Obviously, it's more money for them as well. And when it comes to it, I think overall, the model itself, is it going to be a success or not? We're just going to have to see. It's going to be more games, so there's more for us to watch, more for us to see, more for us to comment on, more for us to analyse on.
Yeah.
I don't know, sometimes it can be, sometimes it can't be, because players can get injured. When the key player for your team gets injured, or my team, or the teams that we support, because of these extra games, I think the complaints are going to start flooding in then, and more people are
you're right. Managers are going to have to deal with it more than anything. Obviously the players as well, but managers, they're going to be crying.
They're putting too much on now in terms of what's going on in the calendar, in my opinion, for footballers. International tournaments at the end of it, there's friendlies, they've got the Nation League, which is like it is a tournament, is a competitive tournament. It's too much. They need a break because...
There's so many different competitions, cups, even these extra ones, like the one, for example, Conference League.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I understand it for the smaller teams, but
What if a bigger team has to then go play in that,
There you
and they're
go.
having to navigate through a title challenge, and
There
they're
you
having to
go.
navigate through maybe a cup
There you
challenge?
go. Then you prioritize, don't you? Like some managers do that. They
Yeah,
just
they
don't
do.
bother.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
think,
yeah.
you know what? Allow that competition.
A lot of
We
the big
play
managers used to do that with the League Cup. Wenger
Yeah.
was really famous
Yeah.
for it.
100%.
Fergie,
Yeah.
Mourinho, all of them did it in the
It's
League
time
Cup,
to
didn't they?
test the youngsters out and the more fringe players.
But anyway, let's get to this season's Champions League. Bash, get the group stages out. We're going to go through
We'll go in alphabetical order.
Group A, B, C, D in order.
So Group A consists of Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Copenhagen and Galatasaray. That's my team.
Yeah.
That's Kane's team. And then
Well, tomorrow, on Wednesday, so that first game is Bayern Munich with Manchester United.
at their ground, isn't it?
Allianz ground, yeah.
We're going to get ripped.
Kane's first game against the English club since moving to Bayern Munich.
I think the way we're shipping goals and he's guaranteed a goal or two. I'm not taking piss.
Rick, listen, I think United are not getting out of that group.
No. We're coming third.
Yeah?
Yeah, Galatasaray.
Are we already agreeing on that?
The way we're playing right now, yeah, 100%. Galatasaray are going to come second.
Galatasaray seem like the building's so good as
They've
well.
got a decent team, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously.
on paper, we should still be making it through second in that group.
Listen, we were just talking about hostile European grounds, right? You're going to the hostile of hostile
We always
European
lose in
grounds.
Turkey.
But
I'm not going to be shocked. Come back here, quote me, make it a meme, whatever you want to do. We're going to lose
no,
away to Galatasaray.
third then. So we're saying United finished. I personally do think.
I think, yeah.
I'm not saying that to take the piss. I'm not
I
saying
think
that
United will finish third. I think Copenhagen will be fourth. Galatasaray will finish as the group runners.
Yeah.
As long as they pick them home points up. And Bayern will top it, obviously. They'll beat everyone.
Yeah, I don't think Copenhagen are picking up a point. They're going to be the whipping
And
boy for everyone.
I think Bayern possibly could win all their games. Not 100%, but I think possibly.
Obviously, on paper, Old Trafford's going to be the most difficult test.
They've got the strongest. They've got the strongest team as well. You know,
By
with the
far.
additions of Kim Min Jae and Kane.
By far, they got
And
the
then
strongest
you've got,
squad.
you've got Sane, you've got Koeman.
Are they
you've got-
favourites? Like,
for the Champions League? No.
are they in? They always are in the conversation.
Yeah, they're in the conversation.
But I mean, are they more in the conversation?
Oh, with Kane and Kim Min
Yeah.
Jae, of course they are. With Musiala adding a year to his experience with
would you say that this?
Sane, Koeman.
Who's
They've
the
got a top team.
Who would you say the favourites now that we're on it quickly?
Still City.
So City,
Has to be.
Madrid are there.
Madrid.
And then
But Madrid
Bayern.
don't have a proper striker, so for me, it's City.
City to
Yeah,
retain
they've
the.
got Haaland, man. Best striker in the world. That's the difference.
Who's in Group B?
So, Group B, my brother. Sevilla, Arsenal, PSV and Lens.
That's a
Right.
good group. That.
So I'm gonna go with this first. Arsenal are gonna top it.
Yeah.
Sevilla, everyone's gonna say Sevilla as runners up.
Bro.
I'm saying don't sleep on Lens.
Okay.
They finished a point behind PSG in League 1 last season.
Yeah, they
A
did,
solitary point.
The good
They're a free scoring team, and I can tell you they had the best defense in League 1 last season as well.
They'll be the dark horses of that group then.
Don't write them off. Yeah, I think Sevilla should finish second, but they've lost Enesiri. That's a big player. Especially in European competition, he was massive.
Listen, I think, Sevilla.
I think they could come third and go to Europa League again.
I was just about to say,
Lens are going to come second, that's my call. PSV
Sevilla do it on purpose in the Champions League. They get to the Champions League just to finish third in their group stage.
because they know they're not going to go nowhere in the Champions League.
And they're the kings of the bloody Europa League.
Yeah,
We all
they
know
are.
this, right?
Yeah, they are. We know that as well.
Six-time winners. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. So I think that they on purpose finish third every time they get into the Champions League. I think on purpose is a conspiracy theory I've got about Sevilla Football Club. That whenever they get to the Champions League, right, they finish third on purpose. So they can go into the Europa League
point, that.
and dominate it. So I do think, I agree with you there, to be honest. So there's nothing really to discuss.
Group C,
Who is it?
Napoli, Real Madrid, Braga and Union Berlin. So Braga are coming bottom of that.
Yeah, Braga bottom, right? Union Berlin could
Don't
spring-
sleep on Union Berlin, another team,
I was going to say they could spring a surprise or two, them lot.
to Napoli or Madrid.
Bonucci's joined them. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we let him go.
I knew he left, but I didn't know
I
he
think
was a free transfer.
saying that, right, because we're talking about Juve, a quick point is a funny one. This seems to be like a lot of the ex-players are trying to sue him. Ronaldo's suing him for 20 million. Bonucci's opening up proceedings of the way they've
Wow.
let him go. But on the field, we're not going to, I don't want to jinx it. We've had a fantastic start. Dusan Vlahovic got a double on the weekend.
4
mate.
and 4, you were saying.
Dusan's the man this season.
Not
After
bad.
all that stick I gave him last season, Dusan's stepping up, lad. So going back to the group, Napoli and Madrid, obviously. However, Union Berlin, I do think they're going to win. I think they'll beat Napoli at home, and that'll be the surprise of the
They
group.
could beat Real Madrid at home.
Yeah, like we said,
Listen, those atmospheres, especially on a European night,
they
it's
got good
not a joke.
atmosphere. You know,
Not a
they
joke. And like
stadium.
I said, Real Madrid, top team and that. They've got Bellingham, they've got all this pool of talent in midfield. But what's going on up front?
Yeah, well, yesterday they needed Valverde in the last minute to get him out of
They're
the
just about using their midfielders. And you know what? Pep did it quite for a while, you know, when he got rid of Aguero and all of that.
For a while, he did it for 2 full seasons.
There you go.
Full seasons?
No, but Aguero was in and out of the team for 1 year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, you know, they still had strikers, they still had Jesus. But this team, I don't know who they've got. Like,
Joselu.
yeah, I know he came back and whatever.
Scored yesterday, the equalizer. Don't sleep on the 33-year-old Baba. So
Right,
yeah,
Group
Napoli
D.
and Madrid.
Benfica, Inter, Salzburg and Sociedad.
Bad boy group.
Ooh,
Bad boy group.
that's a tough one, that.
That's a sick group. Nobody's even
tough one.
spoken about that group, and it's good that we're talking
Benfica
about
and
it.
Inter locking horns again.
Yeah. Di Maria's gone back to Benfica.
Saucy.
Inter
They're
Milan
a
will go
rat, man.
through. Talking of Inter, last year's finalists, I think they're one of the dark horses for this season's tournament again. Inzaghi's a good cup competition coach. He's a very good cup competition coach. And yeah, Inter Milan, obviously, they got that continuity with him.
So
being
what
the
you saying,
manager.
Inter to top that group?
Inter top it, Benfica will come second in that group.
And who's coming third and fourth? Between Salzburg and
Salzburg, I think.
third?
Yeah.
Sociedad are coming bottom.
No, Sociedad third, Salzburg fourth. Salzburg are the Austrian one in it. So they'll be going fourth.
Group E, we've got Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid, Lazio and Celtic. I think,
I go for Atleti, obviously.
and Lazio.
I would say Lazio, seeing them this season so far, they haven't had a good start, man. They lost to us on the weekend.
Do you know what though? It's funny because haven't you seen this a lot over the years where there's a team that's doing so shit in their league, wherever it is, Premier League.
Europe's
La
an
Liga,
escape, innit?
And then they come into the cup competition, whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the Europa League, whether it's whatever, yeah, and they just perform.
Escape is just, there's less pressure, I guess, different competition. You're right,
Knockout
though.
is different vibe.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's always been described as a sprint and a marathon.
Sevilla last season, they were in the relegation zone for the first half of the season.
And then they climbed up.
And then that the coach got appointed, he climbed them up and they won the Europa League at the
Yeah.
same time. So you're right, it does happen a lot.
So what? So you're going for Atleti? Obviously, Atleti to top it.
Atleti to top it,
Strong team, as always.
Feyenoord to come
Your
runners up.
favourite manager.
Feyenoord to come runners up. Yeah, El Cholo.
Feyenoord for runners up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know, you know, Maurizio Sarri's a
What if Celtic cause a madness?
No, Brendan Rodgers is shit in Europe. He's been there before with Celtic. He doesn't do nothing with them. Forget him. If Ange was the manager, I would have said, all right. And this is where I became a fan of Ange. It was last season's Champions League, if you remember, talking about it.
You know what? You're going to like this next group.
Go on. Hit me.
The group of death.
Oh, yes. AC Milan, Newcastle, PSG and Borussia Dortmund.
There you
I'll tell
go.
you off the top of my head.
There you go.
Because everyone's talking about that group.
There you go.
So PSG will go through. Mbappe's got to, just by sheer will of personality of Kylian Mbappe being in that group, he'll go through. And AC Milan.
I'm going for PSG and Newcastle.
Nah, Newcastle not doing nothing.
I know they've started shit this season, but that team is strong. That squad is strong.
Yeah, but there's no European experience in that team at all.
Like you said, it might be an escape for them.
Could be.
Someone new.
But I still think
Fresh challenge. Eddie Howe might be like, Eddie Howe's never managed in the Champions League, has he? Ever?
Obviously not.
He's been a Bournemouth manager.
Yeah.
So this for him is going to be a buzz.
Chance to shine in it.
I think at St James's Park, there can be any of them teams on that day.
Apparently they haven't sold out the tickets to AC Milan for tomorrow at 5:45. I can't go, I've got things to do. I wish I could. But yeah, apparently
Why?
they haven't
How?
sold them out.
Surprising, man. But I'm going to back Newcastle. Newcastle to come second.
Nah, I'm going for AC Milan, PSG, Borussia Dortmund to finish third to go into the Europa League. And I think Newcastle just
The
struggle.
bottom.
They might get a victory, but I think they'll struggle overall. Next group. Because,
Group G. Oh, they always give these lot easy group, innit?
who's it?
Man City, innit?
Are you in the conspiracy
Oh,
train?
they always do, man. Come on. Go look at their groups.
I don't even know. Go on.
You know what? If I have to Google them and bring every
No,
group
no,
out
no,
from
it's-
every
no,
year,
no, they do have easy
I'll put a
groups.
separate podcast on that.
They do. What?
Yeah.
You-
So
you're-
Man City, I don't know who they are. I've never heard of them in my life. Yeah. Zvezda.
Oh, good. Yeah, they got Leipzig again.
Yeah, young boys. Noor Jawan Mure.
No, Johan. No, Johan.
No Jawan.
No, Johan.
No Jawan.
And then you got
And you got Leipzig.
They're
So they're the top two. Man City and Leipzig are going through. Boom.
Leipzig.
We don't need to say about that.
We
don't need to say about that.
Why do they always get them? Have you not noticed that about 3-4 seasons in a row now they play?
We've had them once.
Once these
The
are playing
Manchester
every time.
boys.
Who's the next one?
Another. Well, actually, no. You could thingy this group. So you got Barca, Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Royal Antwerp, I believe.
Yeah, Porto and Barca will
just be
go through.
Antwerp.
Shakhtar, obviously, they do spring surprises every time they're in the Champions League.
I think Barca and Porto should do it. Though,
Barca
innit?
and Porto have to do it.
Yeah.
Barca, obviously.
I think Shakhtar, it'll be tighter than we're saying though. I think
That's what I'm
Shakhtar are gonna make it a bit of a tough one, you know.
They'll probably beat Porto at home.
You know, it's gonna be like I reckon it'll be like a point or two's difference. That'll be the difference.
No, I think Barca will run away with that one.
Do you think so?
I think Barca will run away with it.
I will
This
see.
season, they got Felix, Cancelo, a bit of a better squad. Well, yeah. Dembele's left them, so I don't know if there's overall.
Fati's left.
You know what? I've got a trivial fact for everyone. They scored their first direct free kick since Leo Messi left on the weekend. That's the third season since he's left, and their first direct free kick since then.
And these guys are meant to be like
Ferran Torres. It took
the
him
flair lot.
took him 41 attempts to get there.
Oh,
But they got
Ferran
it.
Torres got.
Ferran Torres got it. Yeah.
Go on, lad.
Ferran Torres
Man
is
City reject.
Yeah, he's a funny one. Another time we got
He's an
plenty
up
of
and
time.
down player,
No,
innit?
we've got plenty of time to talk about players like that anyway. What's the next group?
But yeah,
Barca going through, Porto going through.
and that is all 8 groups.
That's it, we're done. Right, so who do you think are going to be the dark horses and overall? You put your finger
I have to just look at it because obviously Man City and Madrid are always going to be there in conversation.
Okay, your 3 favourites gone then before you do dark horses, because then it'll make it easier for you to eliminate.
Man City, Madrid, and Bayern.
Alright, for me, I will go Manchester City, of course, Real Madrid again, yeah. I think, I said it, I was going to say PSG, but I said that every year.
No, they're crap.
I've always got false hope in them for some reason.
They're not even dark horses, so don't even bother mentioning them.
Yeah, I probably will have to agree with you, to be honest, Bayern Munich.
My dark horses are Arsenal.